Have you had the experience of trying to clean a window with the sun on it and finding that when you try and squeegee the water off the glass, you leave smears? Now, the reason that's happening is because with the sun on the glass and the glass already being hot, the water is evaporating before you get a chance to squeegee. So what do you do in that situation? Well, the best thing is either is to clean the glass in the shade. So you either clean it before the sun gets on it or after the sun gets off it, which is actually kind of what I'm doing here. I have been waiting for the sun to get off, and it's slowly moving off. It's still on a few of these doors, but it's a good opportunity for me to demonstrate the fact that there is a technique that you can use to clean the window even though the sun is on it. This is not the hottest time of year, fortunately, but this technique can sometimes work even in summertime. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes, houses are designed to be north-facing often, or to have a lot of glass facing north and to capture a lot of the sun and a lot of the heat. So often, given the length of time you might be present at a house, if you're a window cleaner, you may not have a choice in the case of some windows. And I have actually gone to the length at times of creating shade in front of windows to make it easier to clean. So that sometimes can be an option, but I'll show you a few little tricks, a few ways of tweaking what you'd normally do anyway in order to be able to squeegee the window without leaving streaks. So there's something, in fact, I forgot to grab, so I will go and grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, now I just went off to grab some dishwashing detergent because that's going to come in handy. The usefulness of the dishwashing detergent is, and a good way to apply it, I mean, you can apply it in your bucket, but you can apply it by simply squeezing it out and running it along your washer. That means your washer is full of detergent, and so when you scrub the window with the washer, you will find that the water will spread across, and the window, rather than, as is sometimes the case, you get the wet and dry areas, and if you're getting the wet and dry areas, it's a lot harder to squeegee without leaving streaks, because it makes it easier for the water to evaporate, and you've got dry areas that aren't staying wet anyway. So if you can keep the window wet when you do this, that's going to help. And also, I forgot something else. I'll go and get that. I started making the video without making sure that all the tools are right in front of me. So I just went and grabbed my bucket, because the other point to make is just keep your washer very wet. If you keep your washer, dunk it each time you clean a window, keep it wet, keep the morning fresh on it, and that way the window is going to be as wet as possible. Now, there are techniques when it comes to using these tools. There is the super swirl technique where you squeegee like this. That's not a good idea when the sun is on the window. You're much more likely to leave streaks doing it that way. There is a way of doing that where you hold the washer in one hand and the squeegee in the other, and as you move down, you're keeping the window wet as you're doing the super swirl. That's a technique I've just never bothered learning, but if you want to, be my guest. But what I do is actually quite simple. So I use just straight squeegee strokes. Rather than squeegeeing vertically, I squeegee horizontally, and in doing that, it means that the water is dripping. As I squeegee across, if I've wet the whole window and I squeegee across, I'm actually getting water to sort of drip down to where I'm just about to squeegee. So I'm keeping lower parts of the window wet, making it easy to squeegee. And another thing is just to have a long squeegee. In fact, I've got a longer one here with me, but I'm going to use my 40 centimeter one. that's going to be enough. So I will clean this window the way I've just described, and then we'll take a look at whether I've managed to clean it without leaving streaks on it, even though the sun is on it. So, all right. So these windows are actually very dirty, so I'm going to have to get the stains off somehow. So I'm going to use my steel wool, my fine grade steel wool, which I'm always talking about in my videos. Put a bit of muscle into it, put a bit of energy into it. You can see the window is nice and wet. You know, you can see the detergent on it. I can re-wet it if I want. I can make sure my squeegee is nice and dry. A dry squeegee helps. I'll re-wet it. Dry the edges, and across I go. Anyway, now that's fine. I've cleaned that pretty well without any streaks. I keep in mind though that this isn't the hottest time of year, and these windows are not as hot as they can get. You know, this is autumn time at the moment, and in summertime, when there's, you know, the sun is beating down on the windows hour after hour, they can get very hot. And this sort of, a few little tricks like that, keep it as wet as possible, be as quick as possible, use a long squeegee, use your detergent, squeegee horizontally, maybe even, you might even create some shade and follow those little tips. So if you do that, you can probably clean the windows without any streaks. Right, well, I'm in the same situation that I was in yesterday. The sun is beating down on these big panes of glass, and they're actually quite hot. So it's very hard to squeegee these without leaving smears, because it just evaporates straight away. So as I was saying yesterday, the main thing, one thing you can try, and I can come back when the sun is off these, but that's like hours from now, so I'm going to keep going. So my technique is to make sure the wash is really wet, have your detergent on it, that makes sure the water stays spread across, have your squeegee ready, dry and ready, do it all quickly, squeegee horizontally, and hopefully some of the water drips down if you're going to be doing repeated strokes. So let's do it, let's try it. I've been getting through them, I've been doing okay. So let's try. So I start by wetting it. They are dirty, so I need the steel wool. Give them a scrub. Even as I'm doing this, you can see the water is just evaporating. The glass is pretty warm. So I've got to wet it again, make sure the squeegee is ready. And in fact, there's even something else I can throw in. Got my squeegee ready. So that's one way of keeping it all wet. You have your washer out in front, the squeegee right behind. So if you do that, you might be able to get through this. All right, well, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much.